Hi, my name is Jonathan, and I love writing poetry. I love reading poetry. And today I was reading William Burroughs. He was a beatnik poet. And I was reading something by him called The Cut-Up Method of Brion, Gysin. And basically, William Burroughs is saying in this that anybody can write poetry just by throwing a bunch of words in a hat and randomly taking words from a hat, creating a spontaneous poem that way. And William Burroughs' idea, which I thought was brilliant, and I'd love to do this for you right now, is taking random literature or articles or anything and cutting it up and cutting the paper into little pieces and putting it in a hat and randomly taking the words out and creating a poem that way. So I love this idea. So that's what I'm going to do. I have 3 books right here. I chose 3 random books, and I'm going to tear a page, a random page from each book, and cut up the page, throw the pieces of paper in the hat, and then take each paper out and create a poem that way. So I have Rumi. I love the poet Rumi. So I'm going to randomly tear a page. I hate doing that because I love Rumi. I randomly poem by Rumi. And another book called Do It Anyway by Courtney Martin about activists, contemporary activists. So I will tear a page from this book, randomly tear a page, and I'm about to cut it up. That was a good book, by the way, about contemporary activists, because I'm an activist. And a book that I was at All Good Festival this past weekend, and I'm fascinated by Eastern philosophy. So, called The Journey of Self-Discovery, about Krishna consciousness. So, I'm just gonna, this weird guy gave me this book, so I'm just gonna randomly take that from this Hare Krishna consciousness book. And each page I'm gonna randomly cut up, and hopefully this doesn't take too long. Tear up the pages, and I'm gonna... Okay, I shouldn't do all of it. I shouldn't take too much of your time. So, okay. And this is the social activist book. So just randomly taking any book, ripping a page from that book, and throwing the words into a hat. It's spontaneous. And there is beauty in spontaneity. That's something I've learned. I love to study the subconscious, especially my photography, because I'm an artist. I take my camera everywhere, and whenever I feel a moment of exaltation, I see something that makes me feel full of ecstasy. I take that shot, and later on I find out why my subconscious told me to take that shot, because of a triangle here, or an example of irony in the photo. And so I found out later why my subconscious told me to take the shot. So the spontaneity, there's just beauty in spontaneity. So, okay. Let me get this done. So I can, okay. I hate ripping up Rumi. I love Rumi. He's a Sufi mystic from the 13th century, from the Ottoman Empire. He was Persian, actually. So I hate ripping him up, but okay. So I take all these pages from 3 separate books, and I'm going to start reading you a poem, a spontaneous poem. And anybody, as William Burroughs said, he recommended, called the cut-up method of writing poetry. So I will randomly take a paper, and consecutively taking one. Here's my poem. Here's my poem, cut-up method of writing a poem. There is no reason to be scared. To Wakish, she seems to revel mother never. So from the beginning he will become intelligent. But the excitement of this keeps opening my mouth as a sneeze on a yawn does. Your favorite dessert, a glass of wine. Some devils were sneaking up close, trying to hear the secrets. Can take responsibility for maintaining household life is simple, a license for sex life. Leaking from an old excitement. Older in Trinidad, girl who looks about her like a tramp. Her light in the room, discovering that her parents had left too. Home of desire, with carvings around the outside. Welcome to classroom A23. A few of the girls in the front row reply, "Why, thank you." They start, "I am an eternal superior egoism from the false egoism is stopped." Got a couple more. But because he then immediately beget. Cohen with its coin. Hema is an ancestry. So there you go. That was I was following William Burroughs' recommendation of writing your own original poem by the cut-up method. Taking random literature, cutting up the pieces, and randomly pulling words and prose out of a hat. Creating a poem that way. I don't think that really made sense, but I thought that was cool. I thought that was a brilliant idea because I love spontaneity. There's so much beauty in spontaneity. And I'm an anarchist. Oh, I wanted to read this one quote by William Burroughs. "You cannot will spontaneity, but you can introduce the unpredictable spontaneous factor with a pair of scissors." So I'm an anarchist too, so I thought, as an anarchist and as a person who loves beauty, that's an excellent way to write a poem. So you can do it too.